The first thing I want to cover is total depravity. So that you know, and you may want to write this down, by definition, the doctrine of total depravity means that there is nothing good in you. Nothing. There's not one iota of good in you that can commend us to a holy and just God. Did y'all get that? Let me say it to you again. The doctrine of total depravity clearly says that there's nothing in us that's good enough for us to come into the presence of God, because we are sinful. We are unclean. That's what Paul said. Let's prove it. Turn to Romans, the 3rd chapter, verses 10 through 12. Romans 3, verses 10 through 12. What does it say?
As it is written.
Check this out now. As it is written.
There is none righteous.
There is none righteous.
No, not one.
No. Not one person in the whole world is right. Go ahead.
There is none that understandeth.
Not one person on this planet, according to Paul, understands. Go ahead.
There is none that seeketh after God.
Not one person on this planet, according to Paul, seeks after God. Now keep in mind, Paul's message was to the Europeans. Oh, did y'all catch that? So maybe what it's really saying is there's not one European that's right. Not one European that seeks after God. It's almost like a teacher standing in front of her class, and she says to her class, ain't nobody right. Does that mean ain't nobody in the whole school right? Or does it mean ain't nobody in my class right? If the teacher says, I want everybody to bring me an apple tomorrow, is she saying I want everybody in the school to bring me an apple tomorrow? Or she said I want everybody in my class to bring me an apple tomorrow? It depends on who you're talking to. So since Paul was talking to the Gentiles, maybe he was letting us know the true character of the Gentiles. Saying ain't none of y'all that seek after God. Okay, but the Christian church, Christendom, has used these verses to say that for everybody on the planet. Did you read verse 12?
No, sir.
What does it say?
They are all gone out of the way.
They're all gone out of the way.
They are together become unprofitable.
They are all together. They don't add up to nothing.
There is none that doeth good.
Check this out. There's not one of y'all that do good.
No, not one.
No, not one. Let's go to the 23rd verse. What does it say?
For all have sinned.
For all have sinned. Now, I'm sure y'all have heard these verses before. See, all of these verses are necessary to get you saved. What does it say? Romans 3:23. You're reading it?
Come short of the glory of God.
For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. This is called total depravity. Now let's go to the 7th chapter. Oh, this is getting ready to get real deep here. The 7th chapter, I was going to have you just read the 18th verse, but let's deal with the whole thing here. Romans, now mind you, this again is from the mind of Paul. Romans 7:14, what does it say?
For we know that the law is spiritual.
Now wait a minute, he just said what is spiritual?
The law.
He says in this verse that the law is spiritual. Remember that. Put a pin in that in your mind. Okay, go ahead.
But I am carnal.
But I am carnal. Another word for carnal is sinful. Got me? Go ahead.
Sold under sin.
Sold, or I'm enslaved to sin. Go ahead. What does it say?
For that which I do, I allow
Now
not.
check out how deep this dude is. Here's what he says. Or I should say really how shallow he is. Whoever put this together, because Paul didn't exist to do it, but somebody put it together and attributed it to Paul. Because they knew you would believe that it came from God if you thought Paul did it. Got me? He says in the 15th verse, for that which I do, I allow not. In other words, I don't understand myself here. Go ahead.
For what I would,
For the thing that I want to do,
that do I not.
I'm not doing it. Go ahead.
But what I hate,
But the thing I don't want to do, the thing I hate doing, the thing I know I ain't got no business doing,
that do I.
that's what I'm doing. Now check how deep this goes. When I was a Christian, and when I was unconscious and didn't want to take responsibility for my own actions, that was good news to me. You follow what I'm saying? I'm saying, yeah, I can relate to that. Oh yeah, I can relate to that. I know I shouldn't be doing what things I'm doing, but hey, he had the same problem. So hey, go ahead, read.
If then I do that which I would
Listen
not,
to this. Listen to this. If then I'm doing the stuff that I don't want to do,
I consent unto the law that it is good.
my conscience agrees that God's law is right. Go ahead.
Now then, it is no more I that do it.
Now this is deep, because now you're about to hear Flip Wilson come out.
But sin.
Now then, I agree that it's really no more I that's doing this,
But sin that dwelleth in me.
but sin that dwelleth in me that's making me do what I don't want to do. So notice what he says. He says it's really not me.
Sin.
In psychology, we call this multiple personality disorder. It ain't really me that's doing it, it's sin. Geraldine used to say the devil made me do it. I ain't do that, the devil made me do it. Go ahead, read.
For I know that in me.
Now check out this is some deep stuff here. For I know, this is the verse I was going to have her read it first. For I know that in me,
That is in my flesh.
meaning in my flesh, in my very being, what?
Dwelleth no good thing.
Do y'all hear this? Now what's really tragic is black folk are being taught this. I know they're being taught it because I taught this to them. I know that in me, meaning in my being, in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. Go ahead.
For to will is present with me.
For to will is present with me. In other words, I want to do the right thing.
But how to perform that which is good, I find not.
Now this is deep. As bad as I want to do what I know I ought to be doing, for some reason or other, I just can't get it done. That's what it's saying. I know what I ought to be doing, but I'm having a problem getting it done. Go ahead, read.
For the good that I would, I do not.
For I know I need to be doing the right thing, and I want to do what's really good, but I ain't doing it.
But the evil which I would not, that I do.
But the evil, the wrong that I know I ain't got no business doing, that's what I'm doing. Ain't this deep here? I'm messed up as I can be. Y'all see this Pauline message? See, when a person who talks, really, if a person was to walk up to you and talk this and explain this, you know, now, Shelley, I got a problem. You know, I know what I ought to be doing, but I ain't getting it done. I don't understand what's really going on with me because I know what the right thing is to do, but the wrong thing that's on this side of my head is what I keep doing. I don't want to do what, you know, I'm all messed up here. You know? So, what you would say to that person, what is wrong with you?